We are so excited to have you here and get started on this wonderful webinar. We have a few more people who are just jumping on, so I'm going to go over a quick few things before we do begin our demonstration today. If you haven't already, there is a PDF handout that you can print and take notes, write down any questions that you have, go through the slides with us as we cover them during this webinar, and that way at the end, if you do write down questions during our question and answer portion, you can ask those questions. So just make sure you're writing those down and save your questions till the end of the webinar. If you're having any issues viewing the screen, what you're going to do is you can actually go into your settings and you can actually change the settings to view the screen, so you can go to 100% and full screen under this magnifying glass, which is the screen settings, and this should clear up any visibility issues that you're experiencing. If you still are having issues after doing that, you can call this number and get some customer support to fix the issue that you are having. Today we are going to be discussing your products and inventory. So we're going to be going through everything from your settings, the toolbar, your product list, how to do different things with different products, and covering stuff in the sales event. So we're going to go ahead and get started here. Kelly's going to go ahead and take over, and she will begin our demonstration in the Boulevard program.
Okay, thank you. I am so excited to share the different aspects of the products and inventory in your Boulevard program. Before we jump into that, I want to go over a couple of different areas that you might find useful. Anytime you view a support article in our Help Center, our images are based on this theme, and you can change your theme anytime you choose. Under the Edit menu, if you go to Settings and choose Skin Themes, you can change your skin themes to any one that you want. We actually use the Office 2007 blue for the Support Center articles and images, and what I'll be using today during the webinar. And then next is, if you have hidden your main toolbar and want to display it again, if you go to the Edit menu and choose Settings again, then Alerts and Colors, you'll find underneath the toolbar section a visible checkbox. You just want to make sure that this is checked, and then your main toolbar will be displayed again. And then lastly, there are many different ways to get to different areas of the program. You have your menu options, your main toolbar, but we also now have the shortcuts sidebar that was introduced in Boulevard 2016. And if you have closed your shortcuts sidebar, you can actually reopen it by going to the window menu and choosing shortcuts. There is a support article and previous webinar that covers how to set up your shortcuts. We definitely encourage you to take a look at those and set up your shortcuts and to have the different functions that you use in Boulevard readily available at your fingertips. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and begin. And the first area that we're actually going to talk about is the product list itself. And there are a couple of different ways to get to the product list. You can, from your shortcuts, choose View Products and Inventory, or most of you know by the main toolbar button. And lastly, the other way to get to your product list is by going directly from the product menu and choosing Product List. Okay, so the first area that we're going to talk about is the actual layout. Most of the forms in Boulevard, the main forms, customer, address, unit, product list, all have a toolbar now and a sidebar. And the sidebar has an area for filtering as well as settings. This allows you to customize the look and layout of the list that you're on so that you can view the information that you want to see. What this also does is not only are you able to view and see it in a format that you'd like, but you can then print it. So you can choose to create your own custom reports. So let's start out with some of the settings. I'm going to go ahead and click on settings. And one of the options is by default show grid lines. So I can turn those off and on. And then another is alternate row colors. This is quite nice because then it allows you to easily see the different products that you are looking at and visually see them. Now, there's a couple of other options, whether you want to track section 2, track deluxe minis, etc. Okay, so then the filter sidebar. If you have the category group and product line boxes blank, then what that's going to do is display all of the products. But if you want to filter it down to only see products in a specific category, you can choose the category and it will only display the items in that category. Alternatively, you can do the same thing for group or product line, as well as if you want to include your closeout items and if you want to include out of stock or not. So if I uncheck the out of stock, it's only going to show me items that I actually have on hand. Now, the views. There are predefined views in the product list that allow you to see a different format depending on how you want to work with your product list. That always will revert back to the default when you first open the product list, but you can choose a different view depending on what you want to look at. So for example, we're going to go ahead and choose the usage by customer. Now when I do this, this is going to set my filters and allow me to make additional filtering. So if I want to choose a different date range, so for example, if I want to see my usage by everyone in the month of October, I can choose to do that. Or if I want to choose something different, for example, if I want to do the Mary Kay at Play line and change my date range to all dates, now I have a view that has anyone that's ever purchased a Mary Kay at Play product from me. And then what I can do with this is print it as a report. And it will then be accessible as a report for me. So there are, again, several different views. You can choose just to see your inventory, and it will group it by category, but also give you a cost of goods on hand for each category, as well as a grand total at the end. And again, you can print that. Then there's also additional views that you can load from our website depending on the information that you want to see. And then we're going to go back to the default view because now I'd like to show you how to add and move columns. So what you'll do is you will go into the Customize button and then click Column Chooser. And what that does is it brings a customization form in your lower right-hand corner, and it allows you to choose additional fields onto the current view. So I'm going to go ahead as an example and just choose the group, and then I can drag it and drop it, and now I have this additional field here. Now I can also change the order. So if I want to move the column, I can do that. Or maybe I want to move a column that's already there. So I can display it in the order that I want to see it. And if there's a field or a column on the view that I don't want to see, I can right-click on the column header and say hide this column, just like that. And now it will retain and remember the size and placement of my columns. If I choose that I want to reset it back to the original way that the view looks like, all I have to do is go back into my Customize button and click Reset. And it's going to go right back to the format that it was in. Now this idea works not only with the product list, but it also works with your customer list, your unit list, your address list, as well as sales transactions. So you definitely can do a lot of customization. Now the next area of the product list that I'd like to go over is how to reassign product sales history. So if you have products where there are multiple part numbers in your product list and you'd like to merge them together so that there is only one part number, for example, if it's the same color or same everything, just the packaging is different, you can go ahead and reassign that. So what you would do is find the product, and I would click the find, and you can type a partial description of either the description or the part number. I'm going to use the same example from the slides. And the item that I'm going to reassign is the Boulevard Midnight, and I want to take the old part number first and merge it into the newer part number. So I'd select the old part number first, and then click the Reassign History button. And then in the To field, this is where I'll start to enter the new part number. And again, I can do a partial search, or because I see that the new product is right here, I can even start typing in the part number. Just like that. And you'll want to make sure that you have the Move on Hand amounts checked, as well as the Delete the From product checkbox checked, so that it deletes the old part number. Boulevard's going to ask to confirm that this is what you want to do. And then when it's finished, all of the customer product purchase history, the on-hand amounts, all of that information is now merged into the one part number. The next area that we're going to go over is how to split sets. So if a set has full-size sellable products, it can be split. So examples are satin lips, the microderm abrasion plus set, ultimate miracle set, those types of sets. Now the sets that cannot be split are things like the satin hands pampering set, because there isn't full-size products of each of the items that can be purchased individually. So what you would do to split the set is, again, find the item that you're wanting to split. And I'm going to go ahead and choose the Microderm Abrasion Plus set. And once I select it and open it, in the product profile, I have a split set button that I would click. And I want to then go ahead and verify and adjust the wholesale if the wholesale needs to be adjusted depending on the set, and decide how many sets I want to split. And when I do that, it's going to deduct the amount from the on-hand amount of the set and put the individual items into their respective part numbers. Now, the next is doing some cleanup in your product list. For those of you that have had Boulevard for a long time, well, first of all, we appreciate you and appreciate the fact that you've been with us for a long time. You probably have a lot of products in your product list. If you want to start cleaning that up, we first recommend that you take a backup so that if you accidentally delete a part number that you did not intend to, you can restore a backup. And then secondly, we recommend that you go ahead and print to PDF your current product list so that you at least have an electronic PDF version of your product list and the part numbers and pricing before you do the cleanup to it. But when you're actually ready to clean up, I'm going to go ahead and use the collapse button here, and I'm going to choose to clean up the closeout supplies. And what I would do is select the items that I'm ready to delete, and I select the first item, and then I'm going to hold my shift key down and select the last item so that they're all highlighted. And then I click the delete button from the toolbar, and Boulevard's going to ask if you are sure that you want to delete the number of products, and you'd click OK, and now they are removed. Now this same concept can also be used for moving products. So if I wanted to move a block of products, I would do the same select, and instead of clicking the delete, you could right click and choose move and move it to whatever category you choose to. So this allows you to clean up and organize your product list as you choose. So the next area of products that I'd like to go over today is inventory orders. Now, you'll want to make sure that if you haven't already, that you've installed the latest service release, which is 4.100. And when you have installed that, you'll notice a couple of different things. We're going to go ahead and open the inventory orders. Now, again, you'll notice that there's a filter sidebar and a settings sidebar. And if you have the latest service release installed, if you're from the US, you will actually be able to import product orders and export product orders as long as you have it installed and can do that. What you'll also notice is the toolbar, we've added the word place as well as the word receive to make it to where it's easier to understand and find the place and receive buttons. So let's go through the inventory orders form. Now, with the introduction of customer delivery service orders, it has added a lot more orders to the inventory orders form. So what we've done with Boulevard 2017 is specified whether they are a standard order, if it's a easy ship order, which can also not only be orders that are from registered users on your website, but also regular customer delivery service orders that you place. And then there's the guest checkout, as well as replacement. And again, some of these options may or may not be visible. It just depends on the region and country that you are from. But it allows you to filter based on what you want to see. Just like that. Now by default, it's going to show all. And then you can also choose whether you see all orders, open orders, or closed orders. And we're going to focus on the open orders. You'll notice that open orders are also indicated by having a green flag next to them. So if you have any orders in your Boulevard that have a green flag, that means that they either haven't been placed or received. So this one right here actually has not been placed and received because the place button is available. Now if I click on this other order, the place button is grayed out, so that means I've already placed this order. I just haven't received it into my inventory. Now I can also change the date range as well if I want to change the date range. Now to create a new order, I can click on the new button. If I want to edit an order, I can edit the specific individual items of an order if it has not been placed yet. So if I want to actually make changes to an order, I can choose to do that if it hasn't been placed. If it's been placed already, then you'll notice the edit button is not available, and you'd only be able to edit the totals once you have received the order. Now, if I want to print my order, I can choose to print or preview it, and it will bring it on screen, and then I can choose to print it here. Okay, the last area that I'd like to go over before opening up the question and answer is the sales events. Now, sales events are amazing. I mean, they're absolutely amazing, and it is a powerful tool that is very great to utilize, especially when it's coming up on holiday open house events or different events that you hold throughout the year, and even things such as wanting to always give a discount on closeout items, or if you want to have a specific sales event, you can set that up, and then you don't have to worry about remembering to give a discount. Now you can access the sales events area from either your shortcuts, if you have that set up, or it's also located under the product menu. And then lastly, the way to get to the sales event is from the main toolbar. Now I'm going to use the example from the slide, and we're going to go ahead and create a new sales event. And this is going to be an at-play inventory reduction sale. And the description really doesn't matter. It's an internal description for you, so your customers will never see any of this. And what you'll do is set your start date, and I'm going to go ahead and just put date here. Now I can choose to set an end date. So if I want to give a specific time period that this specific event will expire, I can choose to do that. Or if I want to leave it open-ended, for example, with my closeout items, I have decided that I want to give 40% off always on anything that goes to closeout. I can leave it open-ended like that. I'm going to go ahead and leave a date here. Then I want to go ahead and put in a default discount, and I can choose to do a percent and or reward points. If you haven't already set up your rewards program and want to, there is a webinar on how to do that. You can choose to also give rewards points. Now, for this, I'm going to go ahead and just leave it at the discount. And you'll notice that this sales event is now created. Now I'm ready to actually add products. And I go ahead and click on the Add Product button. And you'll notice from the product lookup, I have a Products tab, Categories, and Groups. So I can decide how I want to add my products. And for this example, I'm going to use Category. And I can select my Mary Kay at Play and drag and drop it. Or I could have selected it and clicked the Add button. Either way. Now you'll notice that they all have been given the 30% discount. If I want to go in and make specific changes, so for example, maybe I want to do 20% on an item and 35% on a different item, I can make individual percent changes as needed. Now, the next example that you could do is just giving rewards points and not setting up a percent discount. So if I wanted to do a new product, a new order form, launch special, I can go ahead and put in my date range and decide how long the event is going to last. I can leave the discount blank and I can give reward points. And when I do that, I can then go ahead and add products. And once I've added the products, anytime I invoice a customer, if the items or applicable items are included in the sales event, whether it's the new order form launch special or the at play inventory reduction, any sales event that's applicable, they'll automatically get either the discount or rewards points added to their account. So you can see that by setting up, taking a few minutes and setting up these sales events ahead of time, then as you're busily invoicing your customers, you don't ever have to worry about, oh gosh, I forgot to give the 20% discount, or what discount did I set for that? It's automatically set up for you. And then once the sales event expires, if you have an expiration on it, again, you don't have to worry about accidentally giving a discount when you didn't intend to. So those are the different areas of products and inventory that we are going over today. And I'd like to open it up for questions and answers.
Hi, you had talked about giving both rewards, or about giving a discount or rewards. Can you do both?
You sure can. Absolutely.
Okay.
I want to know if the order form and the Mary Kay order form are going to line up to be the same.
As far as the sequence or the part numbers themselves?
Sequence.
Good question, and that was actually one that I meant to go over when I was in the product list. So I'm going to go ahead and expand the categories. One of the buttons on the toolbar of the product list allows you to choose whether it's in order form sequence or in description sequence, so alphabetical order or Mary Kay order form sequence.
When
when I'm looking at my consultant list, there is one color that is so light gray I can barely see it, and I don't know how to change the color scheme.
So any of the colors in Boulevard, if you go to the Edit menu and choose Settings, then Alerts and Colors, you can actually change those. For example, if this one happens to be the inactives on the customer list, I'm going to go ahead and change them to black. But as far as consultants, if you're not tracking production in Boulevard, because those colors go based on production, you can actually change them all to black. And then when you OK it, they'll all be black no matter what their activity level is.
Okay, I think it's the light gray color that I can barely see.
Yep, so you would just want to change that to black.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Hi there. I actually have two questions. My first question is regarding the Mary Kay part numbers, how they've changed.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, if I start a new order with a customer and put the old part number in, for some reason I can't get the new part number, or it'll say it doesn't know what it is. So then I have to go to the look up window.
Yep, so there's a couple of different options. As Mary Kay was rolling out the new InTouch, they started switching over to the 8-digit format, and that's actually the direction that they are going. And unfortunately, with the snags that they ran into, had to switch everybody back to the old InTouch, which is 6-digit part numbers. But to be able to handle both, and for the transition that's upcoming, Boulevard had to switch to the 8 digits. Now, as far as the adding products to the invoice, what you would do, and this is for U.S. And also Australia is now on 8-digit part numbers as well. And what you would do is just add a 10 for the majority of the items that you're trying to add, and that's what they've done. So you can
10 before the Mary Kay part number.
Mm-hmm. Yep, 10, and you will then be able to add the items. Otherwise, you can use the lookup and either do a product search, or if you click on the History tab, this is actually your customer's past product purchase history, and you can sort it by date, you can sort it by description, and you can add products that way. And then lastly, with Boulevard 2017, we have another great feature. If you have the customer's profile open, and if you go to their products tab, and this is if you haven't already started the invoice. So if you've opened her profile, gone to the products tab, if she is reordering an item that she's purchased in the past, you'll notice now that there's check boxes next to each item. All you have to do is select the checkbox, and then there is an add button, and you can say add to new invoice, and what it's going to do is launch an invoice and automatically add it. And then if you she's ordering new products that she has never ordered in the past, again, you can add those through the partial description or lookup.
Okay, is there a way to, you were speaking earlier about the customization of your product list toolbar with the part numbers. Is there a way to make Boulevard somehow recognize both the old part number and the new part number?
You sure can. So if you go ahead and click the Find button, you can actually start typing a partial part number. So even if you didn't add the 10, if you started typing part of the part number, you'll notice that as I'm typing it, it's starting to drill down to the items that are included. So you can type the 6-digit part number and it will find it.
Perfect. Thank you.
You're
My last
welcome.
question was regarding importing an order from InTouch
Okay.
after you've placed an order.
Mm-hmm.
Are we able to use Chrome with that now?
Yes, actually Chrome is the preferred browser, and as Mary Kay does switch back over to the new InTouch, they've actually recommended with their site to use Chrome. So Chrome or Microsoft Edge, which is the new version of Internet Explorer, the what they switched over to, which comes with Windows 10. Either of those or even the old Internet Explorer will work. We have found that Firefox doesn't always work. There's been changes made. So anytime that you're doing any sort of importing function, if it's not working, first off, you want to make sure that you always check to see that you have the latest service release, and then try a different internet browser.
Okay, but as far as the whole process of importing orders, that hasn't changed.
That is the same with the old InTouch site. With the new InTouch site, it will be a little bit different because the screens are different. But as of right now, with the old InTouch site, the steps themselves have not changed at all.
I assume you will let us know how to do it when the new InTouch comes out?
Absolutely. That's one of the biggest reasons why we actually switched over to using an online help system versus a help system that is inside your program. And that's so that we can immediately update instructions as needed, so that if you go to our support center, which you can get to our support center by clicking the F1 key in your program, or in your internet browser, just type boulevard.help, and then you can get to the most current, up-to-date instructions that are available. And we are continually adding new articles every single day, updating articles. So if there's something that you aren't finding in the support center, don't hesitate to reach out. We are more than happy to assist you and add articles that will help.
Thank you. And by the way, I love the new 2017 edition of Boulevard, and these webinars are wonderful. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Great. Quick question. Can you preset birthdays? I don't do a lot of sales or discounts, but I do acknowledge everybody's birthday with a discount. Can you preset those?
You can't, well, you can't set a preset birthday based on, or a discount based on a date for someone's birthday, but what you can do is you'll notice, like I said, with the customer list, it also has a view drop down, and if you select birthdays, then you can also choose to filter by the specific month, and you'll be able to see your current birthdays. Now, if I chose somebody that this is their birthday month, you'll notice that when I pull up their profile, it's going to bring up a pop-up box letting me know that it is their birthday month. Also, if I start to generate an invoice as another reminder, another pop-up will appear. So it's not going to put in a discount for you, but it will alert you that it is their birthday month. And you can then also choose to give them and set their discount type. So I'm going to go back into the invoice. When you add products, you can then go ahead and set the discount type as a birthday or anniversary discount. And this is nice, the discount type, being able to set that, because then you're able to pull reports and find out, well, you know, how much discounts am I giving that are for birthday or anniversary, or if I'm doing reward redemption, how much discounts am I giving in the reward redemption? And so there are predefined discount types, but you can also create your own. So to answer your question, no, you can't set a discount for a date range for a specific event like a birthday.
I pay for automatic updates and get the new releases for the product updates, but obviously I've missed when I should have changed over because I'm on 2015, so a lot of the buttons you talk about and stuff aren't on my screen. How do I get Boulevard 2017 to download it?
So what you'd want to do is visit our website, and you can log in and download it from there. You can also send us an email and we'll email you back with instructions, or during office hours you can chat with one of our representatives and we can assist you with that. I would definitely recommend that you like us on Facebook because we post notifications there when a new version is available, not only a major release like Boulevard 2017 that we released in June, but also during the year when we have to post a service release, we post those notifications on Facebook as well. Because we found that as great as email is, not everybody receives them, and we want to make sure that you get the information right away. So definitely I would make sure that you like us on Facebook. So if you need help getting that installed, shoot us an email and we'll send you instructions on taking a backup and downloading the new version.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, well, how do you like somebody on Facebook? You go to your Facebook page, which is Main Street Boulevard, or what is your Facebook to go and then hit like?
So you can search for Main Street Software, and you'd go to our Facebook page, and there is a like button that you can select.
Okay, okay. Well, I don't use Facebook that often, but I can go do that, and then it'll send me an email from Facebook that you've got something out there for me to see.
It will send you a notification if you choose that you want to like us.
Okay,
Okay.
I can do that. Okay, thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Good afternoon. I have 3 questions.
Okay.
One is, are your webinars recorded?
Absolutely. And we have past webinars that are out on our support center right now. And this webinar we will put together and post it on our support center as well as Facebook tomorrow.
Wonderful, because I got behind on some of the things. Another question is, what are reward points? I'm not familiar with that.
Oh, they're awesome. They're absolutely awesome. There is a webinar out on our support center and articles that will step you through setting it up, but it's very similar to a lot of stores now give rewards points when customers make purchases, and we've modeled it very similarly, and you can choose to give rewards points based on purchases, based on if you have an auto delivery service and you have people that are continually buying, for example, cleansers every month, and you want to reward every time they add a product to their auto delivery. So there's a few different ways that customers can earn points, and not just by purchasing products from you, but there's other ways. And then they can redeem those points for items.
Oh, great.
Yeah.
Okay, another question, my last question is, with this new program now, with your discount, does it figure the tax on the original price?
So that is a great question. So with Boulevard 2017, the tax is charging, or it charges tax based on after the discounts have been taken off. And the reason is because it is not legal to charge tax on the retail before discounts are taken. The only way that you can charge tax on, for example, say you had a $20 item and you gave a $5 discount, you're only allowed to charge tax on the $15, not the $20. The only way you would be able to charge tax on the $20 is if that $5 discount you were giving is actually a rebate, a manufacturer's rebate. And in Mary Kay, we don't have rebate.
Okay, so would that come up on my report as tax lost?
Non-recovered sales tax, absolutely. And that's one of the 5 reports that you print out at the end of the year.
Okay, that's what I was wondering, because being we pay tax on the original amount.
Exactly.
Okay.
Yep,
Alrighty.
Boulevard will keep track of that for you.
Oh, I just love this program.
Well,
I don't know what I
you.
would without it, but there are so many things that I am not using and taking advantage of, and my husband just scolds me all the time.
Well, that's okay. You know, there is so much that Boulevard can do, and if you are going in and using the program and you do something in your business and not sure how to record it in Boulevard, don't hesitate to reach out to us. We are more than happy to show you and teach you different things in Boulevard, and definitely keep coming to our webinars and watch the past webinars because we are excited to teach all the different aspects of Boulevard.
Oh, this is just wonderful, and I thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Hi. I probably missed this part, but I did an order on Boulevard the other day and went to export it, and of course it wouldn't export into InTouch, and I'm assuming it's because of all the part numbers changing. Is there a way that I can change it in Boulevard before I export it?
So you still want to have the 8-digit format, and that seems funny that even though InTouch has 6 digits, you actually still do want to have the 8 digits, because Boulevard, when you go to export, to see, okay, are they using the new InTouch or the old InTouch? And right now everybody's on the old InTouch, and so what Boulevard will do is automatically behind the scenes strip off the first 2 digits when you are exporting, or alternatively when you're importing. What probably is happening is you probably don't have the latest service release. So in the upper left-hand corner of your program, you want to make sure that you have 22.0.4.100 installed. And once you have that installed, you'll be able to export again.
Okay, excellent. Yeah, I think so, because I don't even think I'm on the 2017 somehow.
Definitely take a backup, and if you need help installing or want instructions, just shoot us an email and we can send those instructions to you.
Okay, wonderful. Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Hi, I have a question on the rewards points. I can go watch the webinar on it, but is that something that you do in addition to gift with purchase?
Yes, it would be completely outside of the gift with purchase customer premiums.
Okay, all right. And my other question is, and I had just heard this the other day, that we are not able to tax on the retail, although we've done that for years. But I just went and under File, under Edit and Preferences, and then Invoice. You can unclick where it says Tax Before.
Correct.
Discount.
If you have this option in Preferences, that is legacy from a previous version. You'd actually want to ensure that you uncheck that and click OK, so that you are correctly charging tax after the discount is accounted for.
Right. Now that's bizarre. While I was listening to that, I came in and unchecked it and clicked OK. Now I come back to it and it's not even listed as an option anymore.
Correct. We actually did that on purpose so that it didn't accidentally get rechecked, so that we wanted to ensure that everybody is charging tax accurately and what is legal. So that's why we removed it out of the program, but we wanted to make sure that you actually uncheck it instead of having us uncheck it for you.
Okay, very good.
I too love Boulevard. Been using it since 1999.
Awesome. We love to hear that.
Yeah, it's great. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Okay, good afternoon.
Hi.
When you were back on the screen on the product screen and you changed from the product list to the categories, how did you get that done?
Where I changed it to a category, I went to from the filter sidebar, I just chose a different category here, if that's what you're referring to.
Well, I thought you changed the whole way that the form read.
Oh,
by category instead of.
Yep, you can choose to expand or collapse. I personally keep mine collapsed so that I can see all the different categories, and then I click on the one that I want. Is this what you were talking about, where they're collapsed?
Yeah.
Yeah, so
Okay.
That's the expand or collapse buttons. Will do that for you.
I see. Okay. Thank you.
You're welcome. Okay, we have time for a couple more minutes of questions, and then we will be wrapping up the webinar.
Yay! Okay, I'll be quick. On my inventory order screen, I would like it to always stay the way I left it, and it doesn't seem to do that. Like, I want the status to say open, so I don't have to look at all those that I've already finished. Is there a way to make it stay?
So, like, if you close it and then reopen it so that it retains that and remembers that?
Yes.
So I would send that in as a suggestion. Typically, the sidebar filtering, we actually have it reset on purpose so that if you aren't, because you can actually collapse your filter, and if you had it filtered and didn't realize it, which we have people that accidentally do that, then you would be missing, or you wouldn't see that your items are filtered. But I would definitely send that in as a suggestion that you want to have the status remembered.
Yes, and yeah, you have it that way on all of the others, and I'm just surprised this one wasn't that way. So the other question is, when it comes to the sales event, is there a way that I could do, because on the holidays, I do a buy one, get one half off, especially, when things are being discontinued.
Mm-hmm.
Is there a way to do that?
There's not a way to do that, because Boulevard's not going to know which item is the full price and which item is the half off. It's basically equates out to being 25% off of everything, but unfortunately, there's just not a way to do that.
Are you going to be doing a webinar on invoicing?
We have, actually. That actually was, I believe, the last one that we did, or the time before that. So absolutely check that out. It was an awesome webinar.
Okay, and are you going to be updating Avenue to show some of the changes that you've done on Boulevard? And that's my last question.
So we are actually updating Avenue. I'm glad you asked. There are things that, there won't be like the rewards points and things like that, but we are updating the layout and responsiveness to it, and are hoping to have that done in the next week or two. So definitely be checking that out. We will send out notification to those that already have purchased Avenue to be able to get that new update.
Great, because I'm looking forward to that customer wish list to show up. It's like, oh, that's a great item there.
Yeah. All right.
Okay. Thank you.
You're welcome. Okay, last question.
Hi there. I'm for the sales event.
Uh-huh.
Is it possible to make the event time sensitive? So for example, like on Black Friday, if a customer puts an order in at 5 a.m., that from 5 to 5:59 it's 40% off, then the next hour it's 30% off on specific items? I know you can do the whole day. I just didn't know if it was an option to do to make it time sensitive?
Unfortunately, it is just by the day. I would definitely send that in as a suggestion to see if that is possible.
Okay, and then my other question, is it possible, I set up the award system during the webinar that you guys did. It's amazing. Is there a way to reset it so that I can relaunch it but not have people have like 50,000 points?
So what you would need to do is clear, you'd have to do it individually for customers and clear their rewards. So you would just go into their profile and clear their balance.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
Love the webinars, love the new program.
Awesome. Love to hear it.
Thank you so much, everyone, for joining us today for our webinar on inventory. If you had a question that you either typed in and didn't get a response to, or if you were in the queue and we just didn't have time to answer your question, please send us an email. You can post on Facebook or send us a tweet and use the hashtag inventory, and we will make sure that your question receives top priority and we'll respond as quickly as possible. This webinar is recorded, as Kelly had mentioned, so we will be posting that this week on our site. You can go to our support center and type in live webinars, and you can look in the past and upcoming webinar links to view the past webinars and whatever's coming up. Also, if you haven't already done so, please go like us on Facebook so you can receive more details on future webinars as far as times and dates. And our next webinar we will be covering getting a fresh start in Boulevard. So we'll be going over everything from customers, inventory, getting past information entered. We'll be covering tax information, so you'll want to make sure you get registered and join us for that webinar. We really do appreciate the time that you spend with us on these, and if you do have suggestions on future webinars and things you would like to see us do, please send those in because we're listening and we want to meet your needs and help you learn Boulevard and use it to the best of your advantage. So please send us an email. Thank you again for joining us and have a wonderful rest of your day.